Hi guys, good evening. It's Friday again. Another week has just flown by. Hope you all had a productive week and are all geared up for the weekend to take rest. So, today the topic that I have chosen is about self-esteem. So, self-esteem is something that we always think about whether it's actually about us and it's about how we feel about ourselves. Hi Shomala, nice to see you. So self-esteem is basically, is in a nutshell, self-esteem is our opinion of ourselves. So whenever we say we have got low self-esteem, it it's basically saying that we do not think much about ourselves, or we do not have good opinion about ourselves. Hi Darshana, hi uncle. So if we take a step back and just think about it, that's really sad, right? Because as humans, we want everybody to have, to think well about us. We want everyone to think highly about us. We want people to be impressed by us. We want people to like us. But have we ever thought about what we feel about ourselves? Hi Uma! How do we feel about ourselves? Because that is the most important relationship in the world. Because we are with ourselves 24/7. The most conversation that we have is actually with ourselves. Yeah, we are always having this mental chatter going on with ourselves when we are talking to ourselves. So that self-talk is very powerful. And if we do not think well about our own self, we are going to be prisoner of our own thoughts, because we are going to be bashing ourselves, we are going to be questioning ourselves, we are going to be belittling and criticizing ourselves. Yeah, we all have got this self-critique inside of us, right? And sometimes the self-critique can just go wild. So it's really important to understand what is it that we feel about our own selves. Do we have a healthy self-esteem? What do we think about our abilities? What do we think about our limitations? And what is the basis if we continuously think that we are not good enough, and we are not pretty enough, or we are not fast enough, or we are not rich enough, or successful enough, or nice enough, whatever that could be? And where does all this come from? And what is this doing to us? Because you know what this is doing to us. If our self-esteem is impacted in any way, we are not going to be, first of all, we are going to lack confidence in our own ability to do anything. Which means every time we set a goal, we are going to second guess ourselves. Like, yeah, right, I set that goal some time ago. Every year, we sometimes say these things jokingly, right? Every January I say I'm going to do this, but I don't do it. Can you see, if you take away the joke, you can see the irony of it. We are belittling ourselves. We are saying that we ourselves are not trustworthy. And this will impact us deep inside. It will impact our relationship with ourselves. It's also important to remember that every time we let ourselves down, we are also impacting our self-esteem. And this especially is true for when we are trying to form habits. When we say, like, I'm going to exercise every day. Every day I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to go and exercise. And come morning, if we do not do it, we are actually letting ourselves down. Now, most of us will feel it's perfectly okay to do this, and I have done this many times. But every time we do this, it robs ourselves of our self-trust. Like, I promised myself that I'm going to get up early and go for a run, and in the morning I am not going for a run. Nobody else knows about the promise that I made to myself, but I'm aware of it. And the fact that I did not do it makes me think a little less about myself. It makes me less confident about my own ability. And this is going to affect me in the long run, because added up is going to make me think that I'm of a certain characteristic, that I'm a procrastinator, that I cannot deliver things, that I'm always doing this. I will have this opinion about myself, not other people, simply because I have been self-sabotaging myself. And the opposite is also true. If we set a goal and we push ourselves to achieve it, if I say that I'm going to do something every day and I actually get that thing done every day like I said I would, it's going to make me, even if it's a small thing, it's going to have a big impact on how I perceive myself, what I think about myself. If I set a goal that I'm going to finish this piece of work, I'm going to sit down from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock and get this done. And if I actually do sit down from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock and completely focus on it, I will feel really great that I actually did something. So this will spur us on. These are all ammunition for us to feel good about ourselves. And where does self-esteem start? Yeah, they say that self-esteem starts at the age of 4 to about age of 11. That's the time that we are forming our self-esteem. Before that, if you see children younger than 4 years old, they are all so confident. If they want to throw a tantrum in the shopping mall, they will just do it. They think they deserve it. They are so full of themselves. But after 4, you will see them getting shy, hesitating, because that's when the social awareness develops. And then they will start judging themselves. And that's when parents and teachers and people in our lives play a very important role. If they are always faced with criticism that, you can't do this. And in Asian society, parents are always comparing kids with other people, right? If he can do it, why can't you do it? And all of that will create low self-esteem. When they go to school, teachers also, the way they speak, like, you are getting this wrong and you're always doing this wrong. You know how people speak without thinking? And over time, if they are getting bombarded from home and they're getting bombarded from the school, from friends, eventually they start believing in this, because at that age they're very tender. They look up to the parents, they look up to the teachers. If the parents and the teachers are saying something, it must be true. And then friends are reinforcing it. So can you imagine that child is now developing the sense of self? So if we are parents or we are teachers, we have to be very careful and very conscious about how we talk to people. And but the thing is, having said that, and also other things, right? Like some people, they may have certain illness as children, and the way people behave to them if they're always sick or they are disabled, that can affect them as well. Status in life, some people come from rural area or places where people make fun of that area, or maybe they belong to a race where people are always making fun of. They could be from a marginalized society, and they will attach all of this to their self-esteem. And once it's attached, it's actually very difficult to move out. And also kids who are abused, kids who are hit by the parents, or verbally abused, they will also develop this sense of low self-esteem. However, having said that, it's not all doom or gloom if we actually experience this in our childhood. At any time, the most powerful voice that we have in our head is actually our voice. So at any time, if we want to build our self-esteem, we can just build it up by just shifting how we think about ourselves and shifting how we talk to ourselves. And also it helps if we can shift our environment. If we are always around abusive people who are still abusing us, it's going to be a bit more challenging. So it's good to remove ourselves from such environment. If you have got bosses who are always demeaning, if you've got bosses who are always demeaning you, it's better to seriously get a different job, because this will not work out even though the money is good. Yeah. But at the end of it, it's if we start talking to ourselves differently, if we start viewing ourselves differently, and we start keeping promises to ourselves, putting self-care as a priority, we can start shifting our self-esteem to a more positive way. We can start setting boundaries. We can start telling people how to treat us, because we treat ourselves well, we will demand respect from other people. And that is very powerful. The moment people see that we are treating ourselves differently, they will know. They will know that they can't walk all over us. So these are some of the things that we can do to start shifting if this is a problem. And what is the benefit of having good, healthy self-esteem? We actually feel happier because we are happy with ourselves. We will make better decisions because we will be more confident of our decision-making skills. We will be more assertive with people. We also will have more realistic expectations. We are not going to be judging everything. If we don't do something well, we are not going to be saying, oh my God, I am a failure, I am a total mistake, I am never lucky. You hear this kind of dialogue from people who have low self-esteem. If they have a healthy self-esteem, they will know that this is an incident where things did not go well. I will learn from this and I will move on. And we can have that kind of attitude going forward. So look at this and think about this and just evaluate ourselves. If you already have a healthy self-esteem, that is awesome. Please continue to work on it. But most of us can actually develop, look at it critically and start developing our self-esteem, because if we have good self-esteem, there's nothing that is going to stand between us and our goals, because we can easily spur ourselves on. And just an interesting tidbit before I close for today. Apparently, in a global self-esteem survey, they found that Serbians have got the highest self-esteem in the world. Serbians. And Japanese people have the lowest self-esteem in the world. So that's something very interesting. And also, if you are a parent, please be very careful how you speak to your children, because that is one of the most impactful self-esteem builders. Be very, very careful how we speak to our children. So with that, I thank you all, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Have a great weekend, everyone.